Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Berbice 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Guyana, join me on the Lall Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Lall Show only on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
Namaste to you. 19 hours 21 in Guyana, right across the Eastern Caribbean. Happy 1st of April to you. Of course, I promised you last Wednesday that we will begin the Lall Show back here. It's no prank. I'm happy to inform you that we're back here on set. Of course, Mr. Lall is all back, well rested. He looks very well, so it really shows that his vacation paid off. So with that said, I want to welcome him back after some times and a period of time, and I'm pretty sure that those rebroadcasts would have, refreshed your memory, and it's now time for us to continue with the people's business. So without further ado, I hand things over to him, and you're listening to us right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Sir, namaste to you. Welcome back, and you've been missed.
Thank you, Josh. Namaste to you, to Raj, to Miss Harris, to Bernard, to Mr. Ray, to all Guyana, all the Guyanese people listening, joining us from in and out of Guyana. Thanks for tuning in. It has been quite a 2 weeks for me out of Guyana. I needed that little rest to come back fresh. However, I am back, and the doctor says to take it easy. Don't go a full hour. Go half an hour. And I agree with the doctor, Josh, because the half an hour will give you, the listeners out there, the Guyanese audience, a chance for us to interact, give you the opportunity to be part of the program. Yeah. So I'll be leaving that open come next week on these programs. I'll do half an hour and take the other half an hour, which will ease some of the stress on me, because the doctor said that Lall, you have to stay away from stress. Stress is not very healthy for you, but I don't know how to stay away from that. Bernard, you know how to do that? I don't know. Ray, can you help me? Living in Guyana,
Gotta get out of Guyana to do that.
Exactly. And Josh, it's a difficult thing.
It is.
Today, breaking news. Today something happened that I just had to smile. I tried to smile with my staff as I tried to soak the news into my soul. And after I came back to my office, I could not smile anymore. I felt the strain or the stress onto the body. Guys, once again, namaste. Today, the Environmental Protection Agency give ExxonMobil the green light for the 4th project called the Yellowtail. The biggest project this region would have ever seen. Every hour I have been playing on this radio station what President Ali and Vice President Jagdeo can do to ring ExxonMobil B to get this country a better deal. More money in our pockets by using the trump card we have in our hands. Uncle and Auntie, Joshua,
Yes,
this afternoon, Guyana has told through an email that the government has approved the 4th project, Yellowtail. You hear that? Not a press conference, not a single word from the Vice President or our President or opposition leader, but through an email to the media houses. Lisa 1, Liza 2, and Payara, Guyana was shafted. I cannot say for sure whether any correction was done before this fourth project was granted. Uncle, Monday, I'll do a special program to enlighten all of you. So please join me Monday on this special program. Approving that project for me, I could tell you tonight, with a straight face, yes, what they did there is asking the citizens of this country to commit suicide. That's what they're telling us. But we'll get to that on Monday. There's a lot we have to talk about. It has been just over 2 weeks that I was off the air, even off site, Josh.
Yeah.
But while I was out on that vacation in Cuba, I must tell you, I heard our president went to a conference in Dubai, and a friend sent me a clip of some of the things he would have said that I think it would be interesting for you people to hear what he said for your own selves so that we can have a discussion on it. Is that fair, Bernard?
Definitely.
I will play it in 2 parts. The first one, he spoke about the resources Guyana has. Aha. Yes, Ray, our wealth, our gold, our forest, and the value behind them. That's what he spoke about. The way he spread it out to the audience in Dubai, and anyone else who listened to him at the time, you would really believe that the people of this country are living better than the Europeans or the Americans in their country. Yes, that's how he spread it out. All the leaders we have had over the years has a habit. Whenever they go overseas, they paint a rosy picture of their country and what your country has, what it can produce, what it can do for the world. And when one looks at the country itself, the level and extent of poverty in this country facing its citizens, many times I ask myself if these leaders are for real. They always sell how much potential we have, but never, of course, about how much poverty and poor people we have. They never tell you that. He's like a man boasting about how many sons he has, but conveniently forgetting to say when last they had a meal to eat or could afford to buy a pair of slippers. President Ali spoke about how many billions in US dollars we have in the forest, how many billions in gold, and the carbon we have stored up in our forest, the size of England. What is Guyana getting from those billions he talked about, may I ask? They are still hiding the contracts between OMI, the bauxite companies, those Chinese companies, and all the rest of the foreign companies that is sitting in Guyana, working our gold, our diamond, our bauxite, and all the minerals. They are locked away in a safe at the office of the president from the citizens of this country. You know why, Uncle and Auntie? Because the agreements between those foreign companies are not benefiting me and you. It's not putting food on our tables. It is rather benefiting the leaders who are hiding those contracts away from us. Me and you can't see, me and you can't know what the country is really getting out of those contracts. Man, Bernard, if you can't know that, how you and I would know how much the leader is getting in their pockets?
That's why they hide it.
That's why they're hiding, correct. I had a nice time in Cuba. The people are so sweet. The place is so beautiful. The system, though, is messed up. But I can see changes taking place gradually, and I'm happy for the Cuban people. Would I go back there, Bernard? Not for now. Maybe in a few years' time, when change of President Ali's when he was in Dubai. Could you do that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You missed it. All right.
Most definitely, we have a very diversified population in terms of culture, in terms of religion, but we have a highly tolerant population. I think we, unlike the UAE, we have great examples of how we can demonstrate globally to build the levels of tolerance, inclusiveness, and to share a model in which people can all prosper. So we are building an economy that is diversified with diverse people, and the aim is to ensure that prosperity comes to all the people of the country and to the region, because we are part of the CARICOM region, we are part of CELAC, and it is very important that the prosperity of Guyana rebounds to the prosperity of all the persons living in the region itself. And we have identified a number of areas in which we can support the region. For example, the whole issue of food security and the inflationary pressures that the cost of living is bringing on many countries has pushed the region to the great understanding that we need to be more self-sufficient in terms of food production. So right now we are projected to import more than $10 billion in food into the region. Though the region, the CARICOM region, has a very small population, pre-COVID, we were having close to 32 million tourists annually in the region. So we have set a target of 25 by 2025. That is reducing our food import bill by 25% by 2025. So a lot of investment is going into that, a lot of policy formulation to improve production in the fields using technology and also agro-processing. So that is one way in which we can help the region. Guyana, as you know, we have forests the size of England, with the forest stores 19 gigatons of carbon, with an estimated value in the carbon market of close to 200 billion United States dollars. We have a forestry sector with a value of $500 billion in reserve. We have gold reserves, proven gold reserves, with a value of more than 35 billion United States dollars. So we have a great ecotourism product. The question is, with all of these natural resources and wealth, why hasn't the country progressed even further? And that is why we are so strong on issues of democracy and good governance, because our country came through a very rough history, pre-1992, where we went through a long period of dictatorship, and that led to tremendous economic and social decline. And we have worked very hard to rebuild the economy from the second poorest in the hemisphere to 2011 to 2014, when we were the fastest growing economy in Latin America and the Caribbean, to now, when we are projected to grow by 47% this year by the IMF. So it is a lot of work that is going in creating an economy that is standing on many different pillars, but an economy that is also supporting important global issues. Ecological services, environmental services are very important to us.
Oh boy, what a president. You know, had I been in Dubai, I would have had to jump up and the entire audience would have heard my voice. Wow. All these billions this man talk about, how rich we are. He said we are building an economy that is diverse with diverse people, in which all of us, the entire region, will share in its prosperity. Wow, he has identified a host of things to tackle this food shortage. And Guyana can't even plant rice to feed its own people. You know we are importing rice in this country, right? Every Guyanese know that. He talk about agro-processing. Is the fish cages he plan to put in the Atlantic Ocean? Yes. Yeah, man, and grow them tilapia pans in Borbies. He said from 2011 to 2014, Guyana was the fastest growing economy. Anybody lives have changed in this land?
Got worse.
Huh? You know, I don't know. It has been over 50 years now that both governments have been selling the people of this country, selling every one of you dreams upon dreams upon dreams. I want you people to wake up, please. President Ali said, and I'm going to break down what he just said there so you understand what he meant. He said we have a highly tolerant population. Tolerant. I agree with him. All of you just sitting down, doing nothing, saying nothing, accepting everything, and everything they throw at every one of us. Yes. Selling you dreams with every word that comes out their mouths, and all of Guyana sits silent. Yes. But you sit silent because they do not sell you the dreams here in Guyana. They tend to go overseas on conferences and television stations and radio stations to fool those people as to where Guyana is. And you never know, never hear, never see, never listen. This, what I am doing here, is exposing them so that you guys can understand what's going on. And I'm happy doing this. He told the audience in Dubai, he is building an economy that will benefit not only the Guyanese citizens, uncle, but also everybody in the region. I had to laugh when I hear that. Yeah, the 2% what we getting from ExxonMobil can't even give the public servants a 2% increase in their salary. You hear me? Somebody need to help me. Tell me how this region can really benefit. If you got 2% and can't even give a 2% increase to your people, then how are you going to benefit the region? Guys, these are the type of dreams they're selling you with fancy terms from their tongues. He went on to say, we have forests, you heard him, the size of England, that has carbon with a value of 200 billion American dollars ready to be sold in the international market. Bernard, you hear that? And this country got 3 billion in debts since John Jones or Janam Jug. Yes, we're paying fat interest on that money. 200 billion American dollars. This president knows sitting in we forest and can market and get 3 billion to get rid of we debt. Yeah? How you like that? Isn't this a beautiful country? Eh?
Goose, economic goose.
He went on to boast further how the forestry sector has a value with over 500 billion US dollar. You heard the man, this is not Glenn Lall saying this. The man just said that. That is how much Wamara wood, Green Heart, Purple Heart, Mora, Walaba, Kabakali, And even your own heart, we have sitting, yes, sitting there. And he's allowing the foreigners to fetch it out by the boatloads. Yes. 500 billion American dollars this president said we have in value. And Guyana got less than 3 billion, just 3, not 500 million, you know, 3 in debt, paying fat interest for years now. Are you follow what I'm saying, man? Joshua?
Economic gurus.
Huh? These are the financial gurus are you have in this land. No wonder the world is talking how rich the country is. But how rich are you, my brothers and sisters? Huh? You who can't even pay your rent, your light bill, or your water bill in this country. Exactly. You're walking in a Chinese restaurant, ordering dark food, and begging the people to please put a fork in the box. Come on. Come on, President Ali. You can't be for real. It's with school. Which mold you people really come from, man? Huh? He boasts about 35 billion US dollar in gold that we have sitting in Weebak Dam. And the Americans, Australians, Chinese, along with the Indians and the Canadians, plus the Russians, eating up every bit of it. And what Guyana is getting out of it? Nothing.
The leaders are getting.
The contracts for those gold fields still hidden at the office of the president. They are hidden under the PPP, kept hidden under the coalition, and continue to be under President Ali office at OP. And Guyana still sits with a $3 billion US debt. I love this country. This is how President Ali said the Guyanese people, along with the region, will benefit from the resources of Guyana. You love it, eh? I love this country, man. Yes. I was in Cuba last week, and I learned a thing or two. I am happy I went there. I saw and experienced things I never would have believed hadn't I gone to Cuba. My heart cries out for the Cuban people. I will never, ever, and allow these clowns to continue keep Guyana the way it is. No, man. No. The people of this country are blessed with enormous wealth. You heard what President Ali says. And they deserve to live a better life.
Hell yes.
We have enough to help not only the but also many other countries around this world that doesn't have food to feed their people at present. Yes. Afghanistan is one of them. And many of the African and non-white countries of this world. You know, Bernard, Miss Harris, although I paid Brassington 37 million plus, and Daniel Ramotar 25 million plus on the lawsuits they won against me, I was still able to find a few dollars in my pocket to take into the community in Cuba and share with some of the people, so that I could have left those people with smiles on their faces. Have a good night, Brassington and Ramotar. I wish you guys can use some of that money to help some of your own brothers and sisters here in Guyana. Yes, you don't have to go to Cuba. Put some smiles with that money, because it's free money you got. Put some smiles on some of your brothers and sisters' face right here, please, with it. Let's move on, Bernard. Our president left out, or maybe he forgot to mention the bauxite, our manganese, the other rich minerals we have, not forgetting our diamonds. The manganese we giving away to the Chinese at Matthews Ridge, value in the billions for them to export. And GWI, yes, the Guyana Water Authority, is spending millions of US dollars to import the same manganese to filter them stinking water. They're giving you to drink. I wish I could have sing a song for you, but I can't. Joshua, at the end of it, I'll recommend a song to play for the people of this country. Yeah, man. You guys have any requests? Send me a text. What a Guyana you live in. After President Ali, Ray, listen to this one. After President Ali paint this rosy picture of Guyana, guess what comes out of his mouth? He told the audience that even though we got all these natural resources, all these wealth, the country did not progress because we had a very rough history. He went on to talk about the PNC days. 40 years after, he's still talking about what the PNC did prior to 1992. But he did not tell the people them that he and his party was in there for 24 years after. And the country still didn't move any way further. That is why I tell you, if I had been there, you hear me? He would have felt ashamed because it would have been my mouth against his mic. Yes. A matter of fact, the country get worse under the PPP. Under the PNC, uncle and auntie. Nobody fetch out we gold. We diamond, we timber, and we bauxite. As for the oil, I am told Forbes Burnham, tell the white people get out if you can't give us 60%. Yes. If you can't give us 60% and you take 40%, cark the well at the Kaieteur Basin and get out. Was that so, sir?
Yes.
Yes. The PPP, in which President Ali was a key man inside the government, give away all the oil blocks. Yes. Breaking all the rules and laws of Guyana. The same man will get 25 million from me. Yes. Daniel Ramatar. He signed away the Kaieteur and the Kanji oil blocks worth billions of American dollars. Yes. Free to people and companies. What he and Robert Prasad said, they never meet, never see and never know. The same PPP give away all them contracts to them gold, bauxite and diamond people. Yes. This is your Guyana. This is what President Ali went to Dubai in this modern day and age, talking about what 40 years ago, what happened 40 years ago, and not talking about the lopsided oil contract Guyana has, that the whole universe condemn and criticizing as the worst on earth. He didn't say not a word about that. How you like that, Bernard?
Wonderful president we have.
Yeah? This is the second part, uncle and auntie. I want you to hear. I want you to listen carefully. The question that was asked to our president and the answer he gave. The foreigner hosting the program, hold on. The foreigner hosting the program, you would hear him yourself actually begging President Ali to have this contract renegotiated. Let me give you his question. The reporter said to our president, having spent half of his living days still in the oil sector. And there is this talk about Monday morning quarterback. As we would say in the States, we could have done better. The man is saying he lived all his life in the oil sector. You hear me? And like they would say in the United States, we could have done better. Right? The man said, the Monday morning quarterback means, uncle, let me explain that piece for you so you understand. When he asked the question about quarterback. Quarterback means after Sunday night games, we look back at the mistakes made on the game and how they could have done better to win the match. That's what Monday morning quarterback in a nutshell means.
Definitely.
As the man said, in the States we could have done better. It is in this vein the gentleman said to our president, you have a production sharing agreement, a contract with ExxonMobil. The man mean the mistakes were made and can be corrected. Let's put it to rest, he told our president. Tell us what you're going to do. How? What you're going to do with the agreement? You're going to have more exploration in the country. You have an enormous amount of oil. Tell us where Guyana is today. That's the man question. Could you play it? Play him so the people can hear the entire question for himself. I tried to make it simple.
In our final minute 30, Mr. President, it'd be interesting because I spent my time covering energy, probably half of my living day still. You had ExxonMobil, Hess, and the consortium there that brought those fields on board. And everybody has this kind of Monday morning quarterbacking, as we say in the States. We could have done better with the production sharing agreement. Let's put this to rest, if you will. You have an agreement. You're going to have more exploration in the country. You have great deposits. How do you summarize where we are today?
Well, you have already said it. We have an agreement. You have to honor that agreement. But we have made it very clear that there needs to be improvement on future agreements, and we're going to make those improvements on future agreements. We inherited an agreement, but you have to respect that agreement. And on future agreements, there will be improvements. But one of the important things now is to have more investment in exploration. Now, we have made it very clear that we are supporting greater investment, not only in exploration, but development. And Exxon has been pushing a lot of their investment in Guyana. We're looking to move up to 1.2 million barrels per day within the next 3-4 years, 5 years. That, of course, is going to help us to accelerate development in other areas. And I always say, coming to the UAE, people always say, oh, Guyana has the potential to be Dubai, but that is not what we're aiming to. We can be learning from the examples of the UAE, taking the best practices from the UAE. We are not in competition with anyone, and we don't want to be in a race with anyone, and this is our global position. We just want to use the best examples, best practices, to do the best we can do for the people of our country and the people of the region, giving them a better shot at life, a better shot at prosperity, and ensuring that the revenues help us to build an economy that reduces inequality and disparity. Those are key things for us.
The gentleman give wow when he hear 1.2 million barrel per day. Uncle, I want to break it down what our president have told those people, line by line or paragraph by paragraph. The first line he said, well, you have really said it. We have an agreement. You have to honor that. Yes. It's done with the mistakes Guyana made with the ExxonMobil contract. Done completely. Guyana will have to live with that 2% contract, and you people will eat what comes your way, and future generations will have to eat mud cakes like some of those other non-white oil-producing countries. Yeah, he done with that contract there. You got to live with it. Although he, in his own words, on 2 separate occasions, have told his country that they will renegotiate and review those contracts. Uncle, I deliberately use this word, non-white, because ExxonMobil would not do that, or would not do what they're doing to Guyana, to their own white people countries. No, they wouldn't do that. I know this is a difficult conversation, but like the Prime Minister of Barbados, my friend Mia Motley said, these types of discussions must be had, meaning we have to keep this type of discussions ongoing. ExxonMobil cannot go to a white man country and get 600 oil blocks when the laws only authorizes 60 oil blocks. ExxonMobil cannot get no white man country to sign allowing them to walk away, not paying taxes on the people's resources, man. No way. ExxonMobil can't offer no white man country 2% royalty. They have never did. They have never, it has never happened. And I don't think it will ever happen. ExxonMobil can't tell a white man country that they already have supply boats line up to service another project in advance when that type of work belongs to the local people, me and you. No way. ExxonMobil can't go to no white man country and tell them you're not giving them full cover insurance. No, man, no. But they can do that to brown, black, and purple people like me and you and get away with it. You know why? Brothers and sisters, you know why? You want me to spell it out to you? Because of your honest, principled, and decent leaders like what you have here. Yes. That's the only reason they can do that to us. Because we have honest, decent, and principled leaders in this land. You understand what I mean? Alright? Yeah. And if you want me to spell it out a little more, ExxonMobil contractors and subcontractors are the most corrupt people you have on earth. Read today's Kaieteur news. We carried that story. President Ali said we have an agreement and we have to honor that. Oh my. President Ali, you have an agreement to every citizen of this country through the PPP manifesto and through your own words from your own mouth that you will review and renegotiate that oil contract. What happened today, man? ExxonMobil more important to you than the people of this country? I forgot to tell you, my doctor said to take it easy. I got to take it easy. You know? Uncle, he should have told the audience there that the PPP manifesto made it clear if they were elected, they will review and renegotiate the oil contract. Yeah, man. The man said it more than one times. Yes. What happened today now, man? Your future, your children's future, your grand and great-grandchildren's future is at stake here. And if you guys don't stand up and stop being tolerant, tolerant is his words he used, not mine, you will remember my name, whether here on earth or up in the heavens. Yes. Lall was telling you to wake up, stand up, speak out. Let's take the bull by its horn today. Now, and get the mistakes made, corrected. Could we do that, please? Could we do it once and for all? I only hope you guys are on board with me on this. I just giving you a reminder, a tickler. The Vice President went till to Texas. I have played him umpteen times on this radio. And said, oh, we're only getting a couple $100 million a year. And you will have to live with that for quite a while into the future.
Yes.
Those were his exact words. Our president had this to say. Joshua? Our president had this to say, just in case you forget. Let me play it back for you guys to hear him. He was sitting with a clown when he said it. Play it for me, Josh. Let the nation hear the promise he made to this land.
The oil contract. Do you agree with the 55 billion signed away Global Witness report? And will you revisit the oil contract?
We have made it very clear, but we can never agree. How can, I don't think any Guyanese agree with this. No Guyanese, except the government that is defending it. We have made it very clear that we have to go towards relooking at these contracts, renegotiating these contracts, looking at contract management, and all of these things. Everything we have to relook at, because we have to ensure that our country does not get the wrong end of the stick.
So everything is on the table for review as it relates to oil contracts?
Yes, review and renegotiate.
Review and renegotiated. His words, our president's words. Hear that? To the entire nation. But went to Dubai and changed his mouth. Yes, he loved ExxonMobil more than we, the citizens of this country. A matter of fact, he loved ExxonMobil more than his parents who brought him into this world. And now he's telling the audience in Dubai, right? The man said, and listen what he said here, man. We have made it very clear that there needs to be improvement on future agreements. And we are going to make those improvements on future agreements. We inherited an agreement, but you have to respect that agreement and future agreements. Hear that?
Did you tell a critic?
Yeah, man.
Only government sign could have agreed it.
There will be improvements. That we say. Uncle, what future agreements he's talking about? On what? On oil blocks that basically has little or no oil in it. Huh? The quarantine oil block recently carved up one of the holes they find oil in and told the nation it's not commercially viable. Meaning you can't make money on the oil block, on that oil well. Yes, it's not profitable. It ain't got enough. And they're still drilling more holes, which we will have to pay for. Yes. We already have a bill for that company that is building, that local and Canadian company, for $350 million American dollars for them alone. Let me don't confuse you guys. Let's get back to our program. Exxon oil block that stretches from Venezuela to Suriname, along with the Kaieteur and Kanji oil blocks that was given away free, uncle. Them is the apples of the barrel. Yes, the crown jewels of Guyana. You want to tell me all that fancy language President Ali used, you think he can understand and know that? Yeah, man, this man know everything. He know for wear the best clothes, eat the best and drive the best and live in the best. You want to tell me the man know that them three oil block, the Stabroek block, the Kaieteur and the Kanji is not the best? You want to tell me you know that this is what got to be renegotiated so that the Guyanese people can get to eat piece of the apple or get a piece of the crown jewel to wear? Bernard, he doesn't know that. He knows that fully well.
Birthright.
Come on, man. You want to tell me Aubrey Norton, Joe Harmon, Raphael Trotman, and out of all, our vice president, the vice president who knows if John do bicycle puncture in Crabble Creek, don't know that the contract has to and must be renegotiated because those 3 oil blocks have everything in it. Eh? Guyana, I keep saying only numbers will bring about a good life. I mean numbers in the streets, in front of their faces. You telling me you going to improve agreements on future Yazi mango trees, Mr. President? Huh? You running for the dead chicken in the bag and allowing the big strong fowl cocks to fly away from Guyana, man? Hmm? Wait, you guys still believe this is how stupid we leaders are, uncle? Huh? I don't think so, man. If you believe that, then I should say Merry Christmas to you guys. And you guys should not listen to this program anymore. Our young president ended the dream he's selling Guyana in Dubai by saying he's supporting more investment in exploration and development in the oil sector. He mean, Miss Harris, drill on, baby, drill. Continue to drill more holes in the Atlantic Ocean looking for oil. Guyana will foot the bill. Whether you find or you don't find, yes, we will pay. We are already paying billions in US dollars through Renos to ExxonMobil and CGX for a number of dry holes. That is what your president is proud to tell the people in Dubai, that he supports more exploration in Guyana. Yes. He was even more proud to say he supports more investment in the development of the oil sector, and quoted by 2025, Guyana will be producing 1.2 million barrels a day. Oh my God. He said that will help us to accelerate development in other areas. Man, I don't understand what I said there, man. Miss Harris? The man said 1.2 million barrel a day, right, will help to accelerate development in this country. I think that's why the man had to say wow. You know, the man was like, wow, wow. I think, you know, Miss Harris, these leaders are confused with investment and development. The oil sector, Miss Harris, is being developed to benefit the oil companies, and the money being used to develop the industry is being borrowed, or is borrow money from financial institutions with fat interest rate attached to it, in which the oil companies and the banks will benefit, not Guyana and its people. You hear me? The kind of investment what they're talking about, Ms. Harris, is only for ExxonMobil and the banks them. Guyana and its people ain't gonna benefit anything. So this crap Jagdeo and our president want to instill on us to talk about investment and development, they need to understand the difference between development and investment. When our resources, Ms. Harris, are being pledged to the bank and money is being taken by an outsider in which our resources are paying those loans, is that investment, huh?
Nope. That's a con.
Jagdeo pledge your house to the bank, uncle. Get a loan to pick the mangoes from your mango tree at the back of your yard in which your mango have to pay back the loan. Jack, they will invest any money there?
No.
Huh? No. It's the same thing with ExxonMobil. Them pledge we oil blocks to the international bank or financial institutions. Get the money to come dig out we oil, and President Ali telling we he welcomed that investment.
Bunch of fools.
Man, these people got to be clowns beyond. I understand investment and I understand business. I actually born in it, grow in it. I am living in it. And I don't think these leaders understand investment. Is when people bring their own money from their own bank account or pledge their own assets to get a loan. That is investment, Mr. Ali. Not the other way around, Jagdeo. And on top of that, what can Guyana develop with 2%? Huh? The 2% money you are getting. Is what you're developing, Mr. Ali?
Nothing.
Is Guyana and the region able to develop from that? We will not be able to get enough money, Ms. Harris, from the oil by 2025, according to President Ali, to even feed this country a proper meal. I am betting my last dollar on that. And if we don't get things changed, we will become worse than Afghanistan and Nigeria. My heart is bleeding here, Uncle. My soul is crying, Uncle. And it's crying for you and for future generations with these leaders we have. I am not supposed to take on stress. President Ali said, we don't want to be a Dubai anymore. We don't want to be in any global position. We are not in a race with anyone. We just want to be ourselves. Well, Mr. President, we don't have a choice. This country will never, ever become close to Dubai with that type of attitude and stewardship coming from you, your government, and that of the entire political arena of this country. Am I clear? Ms. Harris, am I clear?
Definitely. Definitely.
Our president, Uncle, went on to say, you heard him, how our GDP is set to kick in a whooping 47%. Oh my gosh. Even at the end of President Ali's answer, the moderator had to tell the audience, it's not 4.7% the president is talking about. He's talking about 47% GDP growth for Guyana. Can you imagine, Uncle, that a president boasting about 47% growth in his country and have 3/4 of the population starving? Can't give a 7% increase to everybody in this country? Out of 47% he boasting about? You boasting about picking 47 mangoes and you can't give your household 7 mangoes, man? You house growing there or you house starving there? It sounds laughable, right? It is laughable, Uncle. Yet at the same time, it is stressful, worrisome, troublesome for us, the citizens of this country, especially you people. I have said it an umpteen times that God Almighty has blessed me, has blessed my family. I am here speaking, standing up and fighting for you. who are going to bed hungry in this country. That is how simple it is, Uncle, with ExxonMobil and our oil. President Ali boasting in Dubai how much oil will be going out this country, but he's not telling the people what is left in Guyana for our people. No. Flowery language comes out his mouth. This is what I will end with. His words, his flowery language. Here how he ended the conversation in Dubai. We just want to use the best examples, best practices to do the best we can do for the people of our country and the people of the region, giving them a better shot at life, a better shot at prosperity, and ensuring that the revenues help us to build an economy that reduces inequality and disparity. Those are key things for us. Yes, he told the audience in Dubai, Uncle. Those were his words. Hear that? Wow. He wants the best for every one of us in the region. Yet none of us know the interest rates on the loans the white people took out in our name. We don't know how much, or we don't know how the oil money is being calculated to share between Guyana and ExxonMobil. They are not protecting you with full insurance. They are not using the leverage they have to rake in billions before issuing other permits for Liza 4. No. They are not demanding the taxes from the oil people, fetching it out. No. They're defending the tax case which I brought against ExxonMobil to pay their fair share of taxes in this country. Uncle, they are not implementing all the recommendations international oil experts warning Guyana about. They are not verifying or checking a single cent ExxonMobil said they're spending out there. And the list goes on and on, Uncle. This is how the region and the Guyanese people will benefit from Guyana's crude. Yes, the sweet crude we have out there, according to President Ali. Wow, I have said it earlier and I'll repeat it. Over 30, 40 years now, both governments continue to sell us dreams without any facts or figures. Bernard, you believe a man could change him out like that? President Ali tell this nation, every single citizen, more than once, including your vice president, that they will renegotiate this contract. And you didn't hear. Now you're hearing. This man got till to Dubai. They're not holding press conferences to tell this nation nothing. They got till to Dubai to tell the people out there that Guyana has to live with a one-sided, lopsided, no-sided contract. I'll contract.
They're going to sell the country. They're
Huh?
going to sell the country out more. That's why they go there and sell the country more.
This is beyond selling out, man.
It's treason.
Huh?
That's the word.
This is beyond selling out, my friend.
Everything you do in secrecy is treasonous.
You know, yesterday, Bernard, CNN reported that President Joe Biden is releasing 1 million barrels of oil per day for the next 6 months from their reserves to cushion the rise in the oil prices around the world, especially in his country. This stemmed from the war between Russia and Ukraine, in which Russia is one of the largest producer and supplier of petroleum to most of Europe. That war has not only inflicted destruction harm and pain on the Ukrainian people alone, but the entire world, Bernard. Cuba has long lines at every gas station, and the price even went up there. Here in Guyana, it went up too. In the US, according to CNN, the price went up $1 per gallon. That forced the president to hit his reserve. They even reported that it is the second time in 11 years US had to dip into their reserves. Once was back in the flood, and now 1 million barrel for the next 6 months is 180 million barrels in reserve they will be using. Those are leaders with vision and understanding of how business and how country runs and operate. Every oil producing countries in the world must and should have its own oil reserves. Come on. Come on. You can't have a factory making Pampers supplying the whole village and you don't have a single packet in your house in the event of an emergency. You know anybody who runs business like that? Guyana is being run like that under the PNC, and it gets worse under the PPP. Yes. You can't have a rice factory supplying rice to the whole country. And when the factory broke down, you don't have rice to cook for your family, Miss Harris.
Nothing.
That's where Guyana is today. Guyana is an oil producing country. Yes. Could you please listen to this 40-second tape, my man? Could you please play the 40-second tape that this gentleman talked about? Play it quickly, and we'll end from there. Good night. God bless you guys. I end with that. I end tonight's program. I wanted to do half an hour program, but no. Nigeria pumping oil. 100 years now. Hear that? Hear that, Bernard? Mm-hmm. They're the third largest producer and doesn't have a barrel oil in reserve. ExxonMobil, British Petroleum, well, of course, two of them work in Guyana already, Exxon and Hess. Them pumping out the people oil, right, and selling it we live in. That's where Guyana will end up. God bless you guys. I'll take our calls. Yes, or Bernard, go ahead. You want to say something?
Yeah, but Glenn,
the leaders they would like to be. They are following footsteps for selling the oil to the foreigners, and we would have to import oil. So those leaders are who our leaders are following. I'm glad you played the tape.
Yes,
Today when I heard the news about Yellowtail, I was hoping it was an April Fool's joke. You know,
exactly.
I really was. These things make your blood boil, man. As a patriotic Guyanese, it makes your blood boil with anger and hatred what they're doing to these people, these helpless poor people in this country, man. You know, when you listen to these leaders, you get so upset. The way they insult your intelligence with the nonsense they peddle. They insult us after they kick us in the face and rob all present and future Guyanese. It's adding insult to injury, man. You know, he said that only the government, the APNU AFC, can be happy with that agreement. So if he said that and he would renegotiate
exactly
and review every single agreement, all of a sudden he changed. What has changed? You know, the president said he will learn from Dubai and follow the best example. Does Dubai give away 85% of your oil money? How would you have money to invest around the world if you gave away 85% of your oil money? You know? You don't have to go to Dubai to do the best practice and follow the example. We have an example right next door, Suriname. Suriname is getting 62.25%. If we got 62.25%, that's all. We will need nothing more than that. That would be enough to give every Guyanese the brightest future in the world. You know, if Guyanese wouldn't fight for themselves, man, stand up and fight, what can we do? Guyanese have to wake up and fight for their rights, man. Fight for your children's future. Or else your children, when your children and grandchildren ask you, they will curse you for the rest of your life. I'm sorry that you have such a... They would... Our future generation will curse us for not standing up for rights, because if we don't stand up for them, who would stand up for them? We need to stand together with our fellow brothers and sisters and stand up for ourselves, man. Guyanese, wake up, fight for yourself, or else you'll end up like Nigeria. That's all I gotta say, man.
You know when President Ali said that the agreement that Trotman signed, only the PNC and the coalition government would have agreed to.
We'll be happy.
You know, we're happy with. You know, like, you know, when he said those words, every citizen believed that this man will come in.
And that's why they probably won, because people recognizing that everybody is saying that this deal is atrocious. People literally voted for these people to come and fix it. And now the fact that they're doing everything else, everything insubstantial, and not fixing this issue that's going to cripple this country. And, you know, it's funny, but over the hiatus, I met some people who work at Gisby. And I met some people from the UK as well who work for Exxon. And these people are making so much money, especially the expats, the ones from the UK. They have some things that allow them to access so much resources and claim against this company's expenses that we, the Guyanese people, are paying for. And people don't even realize these things. When you're living in a country where most people can't even afford to buy oil and flour and sugar and rice, many things that we produce, you've got people coming into the country, accessing our resources, fetching it out, and then living the good life. It's really up to Guyanese people to decide that they want better. There's nothing else that can be done.
We have to remember that there's a little bud that nobody has nipped. He said in his own word in one of those interviews that no Guyanese would accept that. Good. That agreement was signed by the government of Guyana. And he has to remember that he said that no Guyanese would accept it.
He said that.
So everyone has to come together and let him know that the resources of this nation, as he has said, belongs to the people of this nation, not the government. And anything that is of national interest is signed away by the government under secrecy is treasonous. So that they're all traitors. I'm not afraid to say it. And we must, as Maya Motley said, we must approach a difficult conversation. Now, in the part with tolerance, is it because we have so much tolerance? That's why you're acting without restraint? I'm asking that question to Mr. Ali himself. Is it because we have so much tolerance that you and Mr. Jagdeo and the rest of the political arena are acting without restraint? That's all I have to say.
I want to agree with you there, Ray. They take us for granted. They take the nation for granted.
They take the positions that they've been given for granted. That's what they're taking for granted. These people forget that they've been elected to serve a position. In the best interest of the people of the nation. But everything that happens in this country is to serve the interest of the few, of the very few of people's, the political cabal and the political elite is literally a bunch of idiots running around stealing everything from under your feet. And while you rock back and accept comfort and accept the day as it's been given, they continue to feel empowered to do this same thing over and over again. Guyanese don't seem to want to learn and realize what keeps happening.
I don't know where our politicians got this idea that elected officials have the right to a personal and private life. You're a public figure, but you're looking for privacy in every direction. The only time you have privacy as an elected official is when you close your doors in the nights. You have agreement.
All the confidential agreement is madness.
Yes, all these agreements, all these contracts that are being signed.
It's madness.
You know,
It's illegal. It's illegal.
Yes,
Illegal.
confidentiality agreement.
Winston Brasington, the man who used to head NISIL, he was a king for every single, almost every contract the man signed. He put confidentiality clause inside.
And it's national interest.
Yeah. And had the nerve to sue me.
Away from the people of this nation.
Yep.
Everything the man signed. You believe that the wealth of this country belongs to them and their mother and fathers.
It's their personal property.
Yeah, man.
They behave as if this whole country is their personal property.
That they could sell it, they could give it away, they could throw it away. Hands and companies that would they feel like without
and they're brave enough to come and tell us. You know, it's being done in confidence and it cannot be released.
And then have the audacity to recant history and pretend as though history is the problem, not the decisions that we're making today that's going to affect the future. It's not the problem.
You know,
but
there's
it's
so many-
history.
Let me go back to that point. Mr. Halley has to remember what he said, that no Guyanese would approve the contracts, right?
Yes.
Good. We have not approved. The government of Guyana, see what it said today? The government approved, not the people.
Exactly.
That is what I'm getting at. Thank you.
Let me remind you, listening to us on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. You can call us to Area Views, of course, ask your questions or questions this evening on 226-7453 or 226-7454, WhatsApp or SMS, or call us on WhatsApp as well on 622-2222, and we'll be happy to take your calls and, of course, answer your question this evening.
There is, while we're waiting for the phone calls, there is so much contracts and deals they would have signed under under President Jagdeo, along with Winston Brasington. If I am to tell this nation some of the deals they cut and they did with some of our assets, you know.
Yep.
You understand?
It's a lot that has to be revealed.
It's sickening, man.
It has to be
It's
revealed.
sick your soul.
The people need to know.
But that's the sickening part of the world that we live in, because as journalists, as people who pursue the truth, when you do find some high indication of what this is the truth is, you're bound by not being able to publish it, because then they're going to come to you and say that you're being libelous, that you're lying to people. That happens a lot, because when you publish a story, I guarantee you there's much more behind that story that you're not able to publish that would substantiate many of the strong points that you're making.
You see, that is why when you have a government that controls all three aspects of they control the judiciary, they control the legislature, and they control the executive. So what? It's a dictatorship.
Yes.
It's a dictatorship.
Mr. Ray, Ms. Harris, when you have a government that would place an ad to sell a property that belongs to the people of this country, and put at the bottom of that ad that the government reserves the right right, not to accept the highest bidder. You hear me? That is beyond skullduggery.
Yes, because they tell you
an explanation.
Right, they tell you that they're going to accept the preferred bidder. They're not going to accept the highest bidder. Who they decide they're going to get it.
Exactly.
It means they've already decided who they're going to get it to.
They decide who going to get it. Yeah. But the only reason you may want to ask, well, why they're advertising it? Well, That's the catch.
They have to advertise.
You have to advertise it so that the nation can see it, right? But when you have the nerve to say, the government reserves the right, you know,
But who's giving them that right? Give them that right.
I try to ask Brasington and Jack Deere them these questions. They don't answer you.
But
they say it's their right to decide who gets what.
What should the government do? What's in the best interest of the people? Is in the best interest of the people?
My friend.
But that shows that they're not working in the best interest of the people. They're working in their own best interest.
My friend, who has a property just up for sale and would sell it, not sell it to the highest bidder? You know of anybody, man? Huh? Well, this is what happened.
Right.
Some of these projects, these people discarded in this country is in the millions of dollars difference.
But it's not their property.
It's not a $2 or $10, millions. Who has a property that is getting 10 million more than what X is offering and wouldn't sell it? Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, but you won't sell your property, but you sell other people's property to your friends.
Exactly.
Right?
That is what they're doing.
Not your property. You're selling other people's property. You're not going to sell it. You're not going to sell it to the highest bidder. You're going to sell it to your friends.
Yes.
We have a caller here.
Take it.
Caller, good evening and welcome.
Hello.
Good evening. Go ahead.
Am I on to the Glenn Lall show?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Thank you very much. Okay. I listen to almost all the programs that Mr. Glenn Lall have been producing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And my mind is made up that this government is really wicked. All the politicians, I recognize that they all have been doing wickedness in office. Now, there's something else.
Pray for them.
We have to have a reaction. We have to have a reaction. Now, I want to ask Mr. Ali, Mr. Glenn Lall personally. Mr. Glenn Lall, would you, if it becomes necessary, would you head a political party into the next election? All right. And there's something else I have to mention too. Something strong has to be done if things continue like this. There's a word that is in my mind that I don't want to mention. And it's revolt. But we don't want such strong things. Lives would be involved there. But something has to happen. And so I leave that up to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am prepared to lead any organization, any group in fighting to bring about a change in the way this country is dealing with our resources, our wealth. I can be clear on that one. I am ready. If you decide to come in on the streets tomorrow morning, I am ready and willing to go out into the streets and protest and fight. Yes, I am willing. And I am ready, able and willing to do it every day. Every part of this country. But I can't do it alone. I cannot do it alone. So, when you guys are ready for that fight, I am there with you.
Caller, good evening and welcome.
Good night.
Good night,
Just
sir.
hold a minute, let me load on radio.
Hello?
Glenn, hi, good night.
Go ahead. Good night.
From the time I listen to this program to now, we don't need them back in government. We need them in jail. We don't need them back there. Never at all, none time with all these things these people doing. It's time for them to go in jail. Both government, all the things, all them investigate the family, them overseas, Robert and them who they run out the last time. Let Guyanese over there know where they're living and check the bank account with US thing and everything. You saw why I'm on dropping out? Why because they're getting weak, right? The people got to come out. We ready for come out, so we fight for we thing. We don't want this banner back there. You got to go there, and when you go there, we jailing them. Here, this nation putting you there before for election, right? And all of them, we make sure you got to put them in jail.
Jail light. Jail light for them. Jail too light for some of them.
No one's the penalty for treason.
You know what is it to sell out a whole country with future generations, my friend? This is not robbing Glenn Lall and his family and you and your family. This is robbing generations to come, my friend. And this is what I want you guys to understand. This thing is not about us today. At least some of us are getting a meal when the day comes. Some of us are going to bed hungry to an extent. But what is happening here, generations to come will not even able to acquire a meal when the day comes.
Nigeria is a perfect example.
And Nigeria and many other African nations are perfect examples.
Trinidad too.
Trinidad right now is going down the hill. Yes. Without Guyana backings right now, with the US dollars, the foreign currency, Trinidad dead next week. Yeah, thank you, Rai. You there?
No, yeah.
Hold, let me get this guy. Good night, sir.
Mr. Glenlall, how are you, sir? I hope you've had a good rest.
Yes, thank you.
So, Mr. Glenlall, as you're aware, my name is Danny Randarain. Yeah. I formed a group called OWOC, Our Country, Our Wealth. And it was amazing to me to know that the PPP propaganda machine wrote a very bad article about me, calling me a shady businessman. Sir, in my life, I was never a shady person. I'm always a good person, and I always did the right thing. Today, I spoke to a lady from Annandale, a fish catching lady. She was weeping on the phone to me how she's losing her business, and the government and Exxon promised them that they were going to take care of them. As of date, she has never received. Bank is chasing her down for her loan. My heart bleeds for her, and I was almost in tears when I heard her today. I don't know how I could help, but I wish I was.
Hear you, but hear you. Thank you. Thank you. I hear you.
I didn't get anymore. My aunt was Kausila when she stand in front of on the bridge and tell the bridge, I'm going to take a stand for my people. I want to take a stand for my people along with Mr. Glenlall. Tell me how we go ahead doing this.
I am there with the stand. I'm standing here right now. I am with every Guyanese who are willing to come on board, and let's bring about that change. We have to bring about change. We have to get them to change, my friend. You talked about they are doing wicked stuff. Well, they're known. They have been known. They're known to do stuff like that. Don't let it bother you. But the issue you talk about, the lady and her fishing, the dilemma she's going through with that fishing ruse. I want to let you know that it's not only that lady is suffering. Every fisherman and their family in this land are suffering at present. And most importantly, the entire nation is suffering because of the oil company operations out there. We cannot get fish to eat. Soon, like I said earlier, we're importing rice. We are already importing fish from Jamaica in this country. And who is paying a heed towards that? Not President Ali, not Vice President Jagdeo, the opposition, or ExxonMobil. They don't give a damn about how we live. Hence, I am saying we are heading for extreme danger in this land. in every aspect you could think of. So we cannot just take this thing lightly, my friend. We got to be serious. We got to get serious.
Yes, I agree with you. And she was like, I mean, I don't know, her husband suffered a heart attack. I wanted to pour my whole bank account to tell her, listen, here it is. Do whatever you want. Make yourself happy. But how do I satisfy one and then the others the same scenario? And then the others are the same scenario. And these clowns go on TV and they go and say they're doing press conference and they make everything so glorified when it's not. How do we stop? How can dare they do that to the people? Ali, I know, I'm from Lenora. Danny Ramnarine from Lenora. I know Ali has never in his life done anything for Lenora. Never. And how dare he today could talk about the people of Guyana and Lenora. That man should have buried his head in the sand and never take it out.
My friend,
Mr. Lall, we need a sincere leader.
My friend, President Ali has been elected.
Don't use the word president with Mr. Ali. He is not respectable to that level, please.
He has been elected leader of the country. And
it was election does not qualify you to be a president. Go ahead.
And I want to tell you that I still want to give all of them, all the leaders in this country, a chance to do the right thing, man. Let them do the right thing. I believe that many of them do not understand everything, but come on, every day you can learn and you can bring about changes. But they are not doing anything.
For 23 years, they don't understand. For 23 years, they were in power. They didn't do the right thing. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, sir. I beg your pardon, but these clowns are only out for their pocket and themselves. They care rat's ass about the individual and about our citizen. I will stand in front of the tractor again. I, Danny Ramnarine of Lenora, cousin of Kausila, will do it again for the people of Guyana, my brother. I will do it again.
I hear you. Thank you. I hear you. I hear you.
All right.
I hear you. Good night. Good night.
Good night, brother.
Mr. Lall, for things to come better in this country,
the three levels of government or the three branches of government must be independent and separate so that the president, if he falters, can be prosecuted. The president should never get that power that he can elect acting judges. And when a bill comes to him, he could refuse to assent to that bill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and only when it fits his purpose, you know, he put his signature. No, it should never happen. They should be, all three levels of government or branches of government should be independent of each other. That's the only way we can move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the president has absolute power to do what he wants. He's immune to the law. How can you, lead a nation when you, the leader, doesn't abide by the laws of the nation?
True.
You tell me that.
I hear
These
you.
men are cowards. Hiding on the absolute power.
Well, you see, today they announced the approval of the Ford project. And you see how they do it? On the email.
The disrespect.
Disrespect, this is what I'm saying.
No.
Disrespect.
I would not say disrespect. You might want to say disrespect. They're afraid
to face the people, yeah?
To face the nation. To tell us that, you know what? I have approved. You understand? I have approved the Ford project, the grandfather of all evil. They're ashamed.
250,000 barrels a day.
But look at the implications of this fourth project. It's not just us, it's the region. And when they had the consultations for this project
I'm gonna
back
deal.
in November, December,
I'm gonna deal with it Monday.
Well,
Maya Motley is facing a problem right now in Barbados. The people are rebelling against her, not speaking up enough. In the event of an spill, in the Atlantic.
There were people as
She's
far as
facing
Jamaica
yes.
who were on that same consultation call who literally called out the affront that is this whole entire process. I remember clearly the woman said, we are kidding ourselves if we can't recognize that in this 21st century, with the global problems that we're facing with the climate, with energy, that we are still looking to extract these resources from the earth. When we're talking about a blue economy and protecting biodiversity, it's nonsense. Just come out and say it's nonsense. We don't do those things. We don't respect no conventions. Why pretend like we do? Why run to every meeting and sign and pretend like you care about the earth and we've got champion of the earth and all this nonsense? And when in actual reality, it's far from the rhetoric that they're pushing and running all over the world to spread.
As Mr. Lall says, selling dreams.
EPA, Glenn,
People that are slumbering.
EPA is not Environmental Protection Agency anymore, Glenn. It's Exxon Protection Agency.
Yes, it's Exxon Protection Agency. I agree with you.
And one other thing,
Joshua?
Yes, sir.
I think I'm going to take a break tonight.
Please do.
I just want to remind Guyana with these parting words that Nigeria is the largest producing oil country in the entire continent of Africa. Nigeria has 12.5% royalty. 12.5 to 20% royalty. Nigeria gets all its taxes from its oil, and over 100 million people, Nigerians, which is half the population, is living today with less than 400 Guyana dollar a day. That same half of the population does not have clean drinking water. The sanitary condition of Nigeria and those people is unthinkable. Guyana got 2% royalty, no taxes. For a moment, just think where Guyana will be. With that, I love you guys. Have a great evening and weekend until Monday. Godspeed.